morning. It's Friday, May 26th. And this morning I want to talk about two people who on the surface appear to be very successful. But underneath, if you take a close look at these people, they are really lucky to be where they are. Because in my opinion, these are two clowns. These are two clowns that hooked up for one of the most important events in the lives of one of them. And I'm talking about DeSantis, who in my mind is lucky to be governor of Florida. And if you watched all his actions over the past year or so, he has been terrible with his book banning and his attacks on transgenders and LGBT community. The man doesn't understand what living is about. He doesn't understand the proper way to handle his important position. That's my opinion. And he's hooked up with Elon Musk, one of the richest men in the world. And it's beyond me how he was so successful in Tesla and SpaceX and failed miserably in his takeover of Twitter. And Twitter is at the center of what I'm going to rant about right now. In any event, when Musk took over Twitter, a successful social media company, he proceeded to fire over a couple of thousand people and decided he could run the entire company himself. He knew what he was doing, and he doesn't know anything. I don't know if the man is technically savvy, but he certainly doesn't know how to run people properly, or maybe he doesn't know how to run people who are smarter than he is, right? So he fired lots of people, and now recently he has decided that he needs a new CEO because he was running the company by himself. Why, when you take over a company like that and you invest $44 billion, why do you go in and tear the place apart immediately? You should do a year's worth of research. Check and learn everything, every minuscule molecule of that company in order to put it the way it should be. And then to open it up to anybody who wants to say anything and invites Donald Trump back. Like, freedom of speech is a wonderful thing. Yes, it is, but abusing it is not a wonderful thing. So in any event, these two guys hook up, and they hook up because they are going to do something totally unorthodox. DeSantis is going to announce his run for presidency on Twitter, on the vocal aspect of Twitter. He's going to talk to the nation using Twitter. And you know what? They fucked up. They opened it up. They got a series of technical difficulties. There were glitches and echoes and melting of the servers. I'm not even sure what that means. So the servers crashed, and Governor DeSantis' opening salvo into the presidential race also crashed along with those servers. And hundreds of thousands of users logged on to hear DeSantis announce his bid for the White House. But that was delayed. Sounds from the live stream event, which was held on something called Twitter Spaces and hosted by the owner Elon Musk and the tech entrepreneur David Sachs, cut in and out during the first few minutes of starting. And do you know what would happen if I was listening to this? I'd shut it down and take off, because I would recognize the fact that we're dealing with a bunch of people who are not equipped properly to do what they're trying to do. You know, my daughter works for CNN, and things have to get fixed. They have to be set up properly. They have to be tested. Everything has to get in shape before you try to put something on the air. So obviously, these two guys and their team are inept. They didn't do the proper testing of the equipment. Do they assume, like most amateurs, that everything is set up, everything is going to run smoothly? Did they run one test to see if everything is working properly? Probably not. And they complained, and Sachs said, what are we going to do? We have so many people here, and we're melting the servers. And he's supposed to be the man in charge. And I look at this thing and I say, this man DeSantis wants to be president, but he allows himself to get hooked up with Musk and Sachs, and on his opening salvo into the race, he disappoints over 500,000 people who logged in to listen to him. He didn't do his homework. DeSantis is totally unprepared to run a country if he didn't do his homework with respect to Elon Musk and Twitter. Because if you look at Twitter's history since Musk took over, Twitter has faced many outages and technical issues since Musk took over the platform. And as I said before, he fired many people on his technical staff, and he reduced the Twitter service capacity in an effort to cut costs. So DeSantis, even though technically he's not involved, mentally he's involved. Mentally he's inept. If he didn't do his homework and make sure that everything was going to run smoothly, how could he continue his run for presidency? He should step back now and say, I made a terrible mistake. I need 4 more years to figure out how to become a president. Right? Because if you look at the history, the recent history of Twitter, and you see those multiple service outages, how can you go and agree with them and be comfortable that this is going to go smoothly? Was he there testing? Did he challenge Musk and Sachs to give him a test? Let's see if the system really works. Let's see if we can reach 500,000 people or 1 million people easily, promptly, without any problems? No. And even Sachs and Musk admitted that the limited capacity of Twitter servers played into the issues. So, you have a group of people, they know they don't have the right equipment to run the thing, they don't test anything, and they screw it up. I don't want to use that 4-letter word again. They screw it up, and you expect to be the president when you're hanging out with guys like this, with guys who don't know their ass on their elbow and are running a major company? No, I think DeSantis failed, and he would be smart to step down right now and say, I'm not equipped to do this job. May the best man win, because I am obviously not the best man. So quit and do this country some good. Get out of the race. You're not equipped to be president. DeSantis, you have failed. Musk, you have been failing for a long time. That's it. It's time to get out of the way. Have a great day. Bye.